Natalie Cole, daughter of legendary jazz crooner Nat King Cole, enjoyed a thriving career in the 1980s, with Pink Cadillac being one of her most famous hits. But don't take my word for it, check out this fantastic clip. Oh, that's right, you've just been rickrolled. Take a look with me at the man, the myth, the legend, Rick Astley, his fascinating backstory and his biggest hit, how it came about, and the origin of the internet's biggest, most enduring meme. So put on your stripy shirt, do a backflip and join me for the 80s Song of the Day. The Rick Astley story is a fascinating one. We start with a shy teenager from Lancashire, England, who goes on to conquer the charts on both sides of the Atlantic with his smash hit, Never Gonna Give You Up. For Rick Astley, music was an escape route from an unhappy family life. He played on the local circuit in a teenage band called FBI, where he came to the attention of producer Pete Waterman, who was fascinated by the very adult-sounding voice coming from such a skinny teen. Waterman, part of hit-making music factory Stock Aitken and Waterman, offered him a recording deal, but because of his shyness, they insisted that he learn more about the music business along the way. Rick was hired to work in the recording studio for a few months. His role was technically that of a tape operator, but Rick has often stated in interviews that he was basically a T-boy.
And so even though I was signed, I then ended up being sort of a T-boy, really. They called it a tape-op in those days because there were tape machines in a studio, like you, I'm sure you know, which basically means you get the sandwiches, you clean up, you do this and the other.
After learning about the recording process, his first song was a duet with an artist named Lisa Carter called When You Gonna, and it was a miserable flop. One morning, some stories say at Waterman's home, others say in his car, Astley witnessed Waterman in an argument over the phone with his girlfriend. When Waterman abruptly hung up in anger, Astley innocuously said, "Yeah, but you're never going to give her up, are you?" This offhand comment stuck in Pete Waterman's brain, and once he got to the studio, he began work on a new song based around that statement. After recording the song, some of the team at SAW were unsure of its potential. They ended up shelving it for a couple of months while they sent out demo samples to magazines and radio stations. It was only after a London DJ started playing the demo on air that they decided to release it. So unprepared were they for its success that there was no video for the single, and one had to be thrown together the week after its release. It was an instant #1 smash hit. It went on to become SAW's biggest and most enduring song. Prior to Never Gonna Give You Up, their only UK #1s had been You Spin Me Right Round by Dead or Alive and Respectable by Mel and Kim. Never Gonna Give You Up spent 5 weeks at #1 and racked up over 1 million sales. And with successful follow-up singles and a #1 album, Rick went from first hit record at 21 to millionaire by the age of 24. So now we come to the phenomenon of Rickrolling. We've all been Rickrolled, I'm sure. Someone sends us a link which we think will show us one thing, and we get taken to the Rick Astley video instead. Hilarious. It started as most things do on 4chan, where just for fun the mods installed a word filter on the forums that changed any mention of the word egg in a user's post to the word duck. So when someone talked about making egg rolls, they got duck roll instead. Someone found this amusing and it led to the creation of the original duck roll image, which was then used in bait and switch style pranks, promising to link to something interesting, and instead the user is given this. In March 2007, the first trailer for the video game Grand Theft Auto 4 was released, and the internet's demand to see this trailer outstripped the capacity of Rockstar Games' servers. To make it more accessible, fans started posting copies of the trailer on other websites. One prankster on 4chan claimed to link to the trailer, but it linked to Never Gonna Give You Up instead, and thus the trend was born. While no longer as popular as it once was, the internet never forgets. Old links are out there like buried landmines waiting for you to step on them. I even got rickrolled myself as I was doing research for this episode. Astley ended up taking time away from the music biz when his daughter was born, preferring to focus on raising his child and being a father, perhaps making up for some of that unhappy childhood he himself had experienced. In 2021, Never Gonna Give You Up reached an iconic billion views on YouTube, one of a very select few songs to achieve that status. For some reason, the views seem to spike around April Fool's Day. So there you have it, your song of the day, Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley. I'm sorry for doing it to you, please forgive, and join me next week for another 80s Song of the Day.